knocked the guy off a couple of times, like laid in the bed with a guy a couple of times, maybe once or 8 times, right? And then stop. And then after that, bro zone him.
I mean, if he just not that, like certain guys have like this, you get used to a guy after a while, and you're like, he's not the one for me. But he's super cool, we can hang out, we could talk.
So you don't want to lose the friendship.
Exactly.
So instead of like just cutting him off, you'll still bone here and there. Like it's not, I will. Like if I'm drunk, if I'm fucked up and I had my broccoli, my greens, I'm definitely, I'm definitely in the fucking mood.
When I put you in the bro zone, you in the bro zone. I don't care how many times we had sex.
See, that's I got a problem with that.
Why?
Because if I laid in the bed with you and we had intercourse, I don't ever want to hear you call me bro.
I might not call you bro. I make you feel special.
Don't call me bro. I'm not bro.
But
It's like your son.
I think women are more honest when it comes to that because you guys could just bone a girl and probably call her
Sis?
2
Not
weeks
sis.
from now and just be like, hey, what's up? You don't even get a sis or a honey or a baby. It can happen. So why if, I mean, women are just more honest.
I don't like
with
that bro zone area.
Yeah, but
I'm not a bro zone kind of guy.
you right.
But
you right,
okay, wait.
Japan.
Here's my question. What if you look at her like, I don't want nothing to do with this girl no more?
What title you give her?
Then you can sis her?
What do you do?
Or best friend her? Or
Just the old bitch.
See, that's whack. That's
All right, what if you, like, we're talking to a guy, right? And you like him and stuff, and then the guy was like, hey, Jenny, I have this girl that wants to hang out tonight as well. Do you want to come? Would you go? Like, hang out with both of them? Or-
No, I think it depends on the relationship with the guy, but I'm usually the ones to make those calls. I'm not, you're not going to be like, hey, I have a friend that I don't know her, I don't know where she's been or who she is, and if I would even like her for you to, I have to make that decision. And it's also based on how where our relationship stands, It's just
Now, is this the hang out, or just like...
right.
All right. So, like, if you, in the beginning, you just started talking maybe for like a week or 2, but you like started like really liking the guy. And then he hasn't liked you like that yet. Like how you feel for him, he doesn't feel that way.
So she's trying to impress him. Like she's
You know
trying to
what I
will
mean?
him in
Yeah.
right now. So you asking her if she with the shits.
Like, would you?
Just to get him, just to back him. So you gotta,
yeah. Would you go out with both of them?
cause you feeling him and you trying to get his attention.
Like
That's
you
what
want to
he's
prove him like, yo, you don't need that girl.
That ain't gonna
never
work.
that serious. Like if
Exactly.
you want her, then go ahead, but it's never that.
That ain't gonna work with a.
It's not gonna work with me.
Yeah, you gotta let the woman. It's better when the woman pick. Like when you let the woman be involved. Like let her be in charge. Let her say that girl or
Right.
you gotta empower them. So it's better. It's easier because then you try to bring a girl around another girl. It's like I don't like her. Look at her toes.
but sometimes the girls be too scary. You got scary bitches that's not going line it for you.
That's a fact.
We
So
ain't
then what you do in that predicament when you got a scary
scared-
bitch?
We ain't doing the scary bitches.
You never know until
Run
like,
through 'em.
everybody's with it until it's time to go down. Everybody's with it.
On my block, we all with it.
Oh God.
That's just a door I don't think I would open because I think then you're having an entry to other things. I actually even know a couple that her and her man decided to do this and now he just only wants threesomes all the time, nonstop.
That's a part of life. That's a part of American right.
But I also think I do agree as far as it should be up to the woman. Like if I'm with my husband, if it should be up to me if I want to open that door. Because if it's up to him, now I'm mad. Because I feel like I should be enough for you. And if I want to add to it, it's up to me.
I don't think
Would you be upset though if he was to even ask for a threesome now?
I always
Whether
want him
you
to
chose the girl or not?
Well, no, because I want him to always be honest with me. If that's something that you feel you need, I'm married, so it's me and you forever. So if there's certain things that you want me to do, I'm gonna be open-minded and want to do that to please you because I love you. But I feel like it shouldn't be you being like, all right, her. Why are you looking at her like that? Like I feel like that should be more up to me.
That's like the 1970s way of thinking.
I was raised where, I'm a writer. Like I've been with my husband since we're 19. We have 3 children. I did a bid with him, and I'm just about respect. Like I just feel now everyone gives up so easy. There's so much temptation. With me, I've been through hell and back with him, and he's the only one that I know. At the end of the day, I can call him and he got my back. Not some fuckboy.
So Kitty, how long would you wait for a nigga before you like the judge broke us up. Like before you going, like
What you mean?
Like, are you gonna be there? Like, if the nigga have 10 to life, are you gonna stay? Like a baby. Like if a nigga do a time.
Damn, why is you asking me this?
Yeah, that's I don't
Would you
know.
wait around for him?
Get out of there.
No.
Okay, if he got 3, let's make it. Like, if he got 5 years.
No, honestly, if I love him, I love him.
You can't fuck him while he in jail. So
That's not
it's a
true.
little different. You gotta get married.
Oh,
then.
okay, she's
Keep up
telling
that
T.
action.
No, that's not what I
So
said.
then you
but-
would ride for
So
a guy?
I've worked in the jail system for like 3 to 4 years, and I've heard stories, I've seen things that you can still have sex.
How?
Word? I
Give
didn't
us tea.
Yeah, I didn't know you do that.
Right.
I didn't either.
What you fucking on the dance floor?
Right.
They have these events
right.
at times, so if you was to go into like the open event, you go to the corner,
It
pull up
happens,
your
though.
skirt, girl, and then, or there's times that there's females who they're not even gay, but they'll be gay in that moment. They'll like make a dildo and they'll dead fuck the other girl too. And I mean, if I was in jail, I think I would let a girl fuck me.
Yeah, I
I'm
would.
just saying.
Girl, so that doesn't count.
I mean, girl on girl action is a little different, I think. It's not
Yeah,
like guys.
I would wait.
You gonna do that 10 years.
You gonna do 10 years?
No, I'm definitely gonna have sex with other people, but I'm gonna be there when you get out.
People or this person? It's just different people in 10 years.
Yeah.
Is that your sense of loyalty?
Yes. Are
I
you
think-
crazy?
I think that's a certain
Okay,
kind
so
of
then my
loyalty.
question is, so are you going to let him know that you fucking everybody?
Nah,
You
don't
asking
need
me
to
or
know.
Kitty?
It don't matter. But like this, the question is open for whoever.
What
are
you gonna do?
I told you the judge broke us up. That was, I'd like soon. You got 2 years. That's too much time.
Oh shit.
Like I might have to have a kid between those 2 years.
So you just not doing no time.
I might do your time. I might come see you here and there, but I'm gonna let you know what's really going on.
I think it depends too.
And if you want to stick around, and you let me know if you're gonna be
Yeah.
a ride or die, because
I
that's
think
on
it
your.
depends.
I mean, he
It
shouldn't be
depends
riding
on
or
the
die.
ride.
He shouldn't.
I think it depends on the
He ain't doing shit.
Absolutely.
I think it depends on what happened before he got locked up or she
Right.
got locked up, where you stood at that point. Because with my daughter's father, he still hasn't got sentenced. He's in the feds, but the relationship was already rocky before he got locked up. So it was just a decision, a matter of my decision, what I wanted to do in my life. I felt like I was growing, but it was a mutual thing. He knows he wasn't that great of a man when he was out anyways. So it's not something that I'm looking forward to. Do you know? It's not like I'm looking forward to those good times because there weren't that many good times, you know. And again, I'm growing. Once someone gets locked up, they have like a stagnation to their life. You know, they're who they are from the moment they got locked up to before then. Then you gotta grow with that person once they come out. So you gotta make that final decision. I felt like the relationship wasn't all the way there anyways for me to be like, okay, I'm gonna wait till God knows how long. I still take my daughter to see him. I'll still put money in his commissary. I'll still ride
Yeah, but I
in that
agree.
sense.
I
But to
agree
be
with that.
locked with someone through a bid, like that's a bigger commitment than
Do you
marriage
think it'll be
within
different
itself.
for you if you guys ain't have kids?
Oh yeah.
You
Yeah,
think that
I'll
you'll
still have
be
a
some
friendship
type
with
of
him.
loyal-
Me as a person, I still will put money in his commissary. You know, I'll see him here and there, but if my daughter wasn't involved, but my daughter's involved, so I still want them
Nah,
to
but
have
what I liked is when she said if the good outweigh the bad.
Right.
Because then that
Right.
plays a part. Like if you was the nigga that was holding me down, then yeah, I might change
Yeah.
how I feel about the situation. But if you was fucking everybody and like I was finding out what was going on and you had no respect, then yeah, it's
So,
over.
but here goes my question to that though. So if he was fucking everybody and being and doing not your situation, but in general. So if you got a guy and he's not that good of a guy, but you still with him, you still with him. So when he goes to jail, then you make that the excuse to leave him?
No, I don't
Because
make
you was
that.
dealing with him.
Nah, I don't make that the excuse right then and there. Like, I might deal with you throughout the situation, but let me find out another bitch is on the dance floor seeing you. But let me find out you using my money to make a call to somebody else on my time. Then you definitely gotta go.
you can't-
Because they're gonna do that anyway.
Right, but here's this. From a guy that been in a place, in a dark place before.
I've held niggas down in jail before.
So what I'm saying
And they do the fuck shit every time.
Okay, right, but who I'm calling, it don't really matter.
Got me fucked
You
up.
know
That's
why?
my money.
Because-
Y'all done set and
No,
put
no,
in
no,
your
no,
commissary.
Because you doing shit. You doing shit. And what I don't know won't hurt me. So you doing things because you being loyal to somebody in prison don't mean you gotta not live your life and not have sex.
So that mean you gonna live your life through my dime?
It's not always your time. You don't know. I mean,
If my call is supposed to come at 6 o'clock and you don't call me, I know.
You calling somebody else?
Hello?
What if he got into a fight and then he can't even use the phone?
All right, but then I'm gonna know that you in the. I'm gonna know,
You
nigga.
you won't know.
I'm gonna know you in the box because I'm gonna
Working
call
in
the
the
cop. I'm
jail,
gonna
you
call.
won't know,
Listen,
girl.
I'm a hood bitch. I'm
know.
gonna call the motherfucking
dead.
facility that you at, and I'm gonna find out. Oh,
You
he's
can't do
okay.
that. It's not real.
You can Google.
Couples that commit
It's not
crimes
real.
together though. So what if, I mean, either you commit the crime together or you were an accessory to the crime.
Right.
You feel
Fight
like
each other
you need to
themselves.
stick in there because you
He
knew
might tell?
he was doing it. Like, period. Like, so is that a different circumstance though?
I mean, yeah, I think that's a different circumstance.
Yes, the dinner looking right.
Yo, I just think if a significant other is locked up, like for like 5-10 years, there's definitely gonna be some sexual activity going on outside of that shit.
okay though.
You just have to, yeah. That's
I mean,
just
like,
no.
you're
That's
human.
like
You got it. Listen, you
human.
gotta listen. If you listen,
Keep it real.
Go do your thing. Get your nigga. Go let him dig it out. You know what I'm saying? Get that tension out of there. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want your girl. She keeping it. Oh, she mad and angry. She coming to see you. She tense. It's
tight.
like, and then she gonna find a nigga and fuck a nigga and fall in love with him. No, get in early. Get in early. Find your nigga and get in early, right? I don't want to know who it is. Listen, we
Make sure he ain't my homie.
better not.
Right.
So Ray, I have a question. Why do you think there's so many single people in this world right now?
You know what? I think single people just don't know how to be single. It's almost like you have to date yourself before you can date someone else. If you don't really know what you like or what you love, how can you literally participate in the situation where you're supposed to be getting it and giving it and receiving it? So a lot of times we just go based off how we were raised. So what you saw your parents do, what you saw your aunts do, that's kind of like, it's almost like you're playing house. But you never really get out there and say, yo, let me take myself to the movies. Let me see what I really like. Let me see any of these things. So it's like when you get in a relationship, you have somebody telling you what's good and you have them making you feel a certain way, but you've never really done it on your own.
Are you trying to keep
That
up with the
brother
social
just
media?
That's some knowledge right there, bro.
Yeah.
Right,
it's like-
and then they mold you
Yeah.
because a lot of times they
Right.
mold your whole personality and you become like unsatisfied because you're like, damn, I'm
Yes.
living to their expectations.
And you don't know why you're
and you're
unsatisfied.
not even, living to your own expectations or at least building yourself to be something to
You gotta
add
take
on
that
to.
time to really
Right.
be like, yo, I like this. I like getting my
Right.
nails done. I like getting my hair done. Like, I like making my own money. I like all of these things. I like where my career. This is
So you
what
got to
I'm
be
saying.
comfortable with yourself first.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right, so you gotta be single and establish who you are
Yep.
before you can make somebody else happy. You gotta
Enjoy your
find yourself
singleness.
and know who you are. So you have to be single before you can even get to a place where But that's why a lot of relationships don't work because people not ready themselves.
Yep. They
But
think
do
so.
wait,
Yeah, I
but do
have
y'all
to-
think that social media now plays like a part in that?
Hell
Because
yeah.
now everybody's trying to keep up with the Joneses. Everybody want to be what is it called? Black couples matter, and Hispanic couples matter, and white people matter.
Couple goals, couple
Yeah,
goals.
Right,
couple
like-
goals.
It's trial and error, right? I think a lot of it is what we see. A lot of it is smoke and mirrors. So you see all these couples who look great and then you sit down and have dinner with them and you're like, yo, they arguing the whole time, like, right? Everybody is doing it for the camera. Everybody is doing it for the gram. But I think sometimes you gotta put yourself out there to see, oh, this is not how it works. And then once you go and do it yourself, you be like, yo, my next spouse not going on no social media at all because you know what
That's a
happens
fact.
is you gotta do it from the inside first.
What happened to me, it was different life experiences. I don't think what happened to me had anything to do with a girl per se. Like I went to prison when I was young, and so it kind of hardened my feelings to a certain extent. You understand? Like when they put you in these boxes and lock you in there, and you've been through some of the shit that I've been through: bread loaf diet, plastic cages, shit so hot that the floor's sweating. Like when you live like that for a long time, you have to build up like a wall where it's like the feeling of love. It's kind of foreign to you. So you more harder than, and you're not as compassionate or empathetic to a lot of people. So when I came out here, I couldn't feel some of the things that other niggas was feeling. It was like, well, that shit, those feelings, like even being away from family, like I just got to a point where it's like I could be around family, and I miss being around family. Before, I've been so long without family that it was like, it wasn't nothing to me. You understand? So when you forced to have to live without, you kind of build up that place in your heart where you're just like, I'm cold, like I'm numb, I'm ice cold. If I could start being around a person and laughing with them and joking with them, and I like vibe, because it can't just be sex. Mm-hmm. It cannot just be sex. Right. It's the vibe, it's the person, it's the camaraderie, it's these things that allowed me to just say, all right, fuck it, we rocking.
Love.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's another thing. So then when I came out here, then I was like professionally a man whore, right? So I was good at it, really good. Like almost, not professionally, but you know, I'm just saying, like, so what I'm saying, I'm joking, but what I'm saying is like, I've been with a lot of women and I watched them do a lot of sneaky shit. Like have husbands or have men and dick in their hand and, yo, I'm just with my friend, you know what I'm saying?
What?
Yeah, so it's like, I've been that man on the opposite side, so I always looked at it like, man, I can't trust no girl, man.
Promise
You don't have to
nobody.
be on
Blanket generalization on all women?
Not on all women, because I judge people by, you know, I don't prejudge them. So what I'm saying is that it just made me feel like I don't want to be extra trusting because she could be doing whatever. Because I'm watching it. I'm on the receiving.
From the side.
Yeah, I'm
side nigga.
I'm the exactly. I was so young, I didn't really have real relationships before that. I didn't have like real relationships. Like, you know, I was a kid. We talking 16 years old, right? So I didn't really experience, you know, like, by the time I came home, I was 26 years old, right? So, but that whole period of growing, like going on dates and, you know, and building with a woman, I had never even been on a date, like a real date at a real restaurant until I was 26 years old. I had never even went to the movies with a girl. But I was popular growing up, so I had a lot of action, but it wasn't real. And I started to connect while I was in jail because everybody does. Oh man, I love you. I love you, but you really feel that love because the girl coming to see you and stuff and doing things for you, you love who love you. So it's a natural feeling. You cling. Listen, niggas be in love with 700-pound. You know what I'm saying? Like you love who loves you. So I didn't really have no real connection as far as like before I went.
You can't tell everybody your story. You can't tell everybody what you've been through because when you do that, certain people use that to their advantage. You know,
yeah, they be taking advantage.
like that has happened to me on so many levels.
too.
Like, you know, like Calmano has a situation where he says he doesn't love because of what he's been through in jail and blah, blah, blah. My situation was where I trusted someone and I introduced them to like a person that I thought was my best friend. And I turned around and they was fucking.
That happens though. I've done shit like that, so I'm a bad guy. But
Oh my God.
But then that puts the female in a bad situation. Like, it makes me feel like I can't trust anybody. And maybe that's why the way I am, how I am today.
As the older you get, the more guarded you become towards other people because it's like you hear experiences of other people. So you don't want to judge people, but you kind of already are. So you're like dating someone and it's like they say one little thing off and you're like, yeah, you might be like, you might be that person. You might be like this. So I think the older you get, the more hard it becomes for you to become vulnerable to the next
I mean,
person.
but it's not only just with age, it's with experience, right?
that's what it is, experience.
Right.
So, like, let's say, for example, I'm gonna take you for an example, right? Like, let's say if I was incarcerated for a good amount of time of, like, let's say only 3 years, and I was in my teenage years. Whatever experience I received while being in there, that's what determines how I am toward other people, right? And so that just goes with relationships in general, with friendships, with boyfriend, girlfriend, anything, your child, and it doesn't really like determine on age. I'm only 23 years old, so I get really offended when I hear that only because it's kind of like I've been through the most shit in my life. For someone to tell me like, oh, well, you know.
You're not old enough.
Huh?
You're not old enough.
Exactly.
Or you haven't
Like,
been through enough.
oh girl, like you a baby.
Bullshit.
And I love that I'm young. You understand what I'm saying? But I've been through some shit where it's like I could sit here and
Or a
really
40-year-old
tell.
hasn't experienced that shit.
Huh?
Right.
Like you've been through shit that older people, way older, have not
Probably,
even dealt with. I've
you
been
know?
through shit that people never experienced.
Probably. Like it just like depends, and it's like you're either lucky or you don't, depending on what you experience, you know. But I've been through enough of even like dealing with domestic violence for 2 times of my lifetime, for dealing with my child's father, whole like situation where he's not around, or like, you know, just different things, like so many different avenues of traumas, and that's what determines who you are today, right? And so, I mean, it's just like, that's where the no judgment has come into form. That's where the, you know, you just really understanding people for being people, like just being like humane. You understand what I mean? So.
Shit, man, I done been through some shit that make me hate humans.
Yeah.
Right? But we can't always live like that.
Right.
Because then we gonna miss out on some of the joy that life could bring us, right? Because it's some good people.
Yeah.
Most people is just fuckheads and dickheads and assholes. But I mean, you got good people.
Yeah.
So you gotta deal with people. You gotta, like, I start people at a 10. It's a demerit system with me. You start at a 10, man.
Yeah.
And you work your way
You
down.
work your way down.
Right. Yeah.
But I meet you on Monday, by Friday you might be down to fucking 2.
For me, I try to know my personality.
Yeah, I like how you do that.
I try to know who I'm dealing with, know who's for what. Cause like I get tired of bitches when I call them like, oh, today I'm hosting a party and then that hoe don't show up. Then I be feeling some type of way.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like I know this is not the bitch to call for a party, but I know this is the bitch to call when I'm linking with somebody that she thinks she gonna come up off of.
And so now you know, it's levels to
Right.
it. It's
She's-
a growth thing. It's a growth thing. I think we grew up in a society where people growth is like taboo. It's like, oh, you changing. Oh, you don't live in the hood anymore. Oh, that growth is a great thing. When you grow, everybody grows around you, and then you see people differently, and you start to link up with people who are growing too, and y'all grow together. A lot of times we just think that we could take everybody with us, and that's the problem.
That can't be true. And whoever thinks that growing is a problem, stay away from them.
It's the problem with them.
You're a
They're the
hater.
problem.
Fuck staying stagnant and fucking not.
Because that's not even true. Like that's not even possible to be on this earth all the time and be trying to get to the places that we trying to get to without growing.
Yeah.
We trying to get in, so it's a hustle. So life is a hustle. We trying to get in different rooms. We trying to be in different places. So we trying to mix it and shake it up. So on that course, we meeting people. We being introduced to different lifestyles. Like the shit that I do today, I could have never imagined.
Yeah. Yeah.
The person I could have never imagined. I'm like bougie a little bit.
A little bit.
Wait, so going on, let's go. Is dates important? Is dating and dates important when you're trying to get to know someone new?
I think. Well, yeah. Definitely. I feel like, but I don't know, cause me, I just feel like if I'm trying to talk to somebody new, I feel like I don't know. You're right.
You don't gotta date, really.
You gotta go.
Yeah,
You gotta go
like-
on dates, though, man.
I
You have
think
to.
you have-
It's
you
just the
have
best
to.
part.
But
I
it
think you
depends
gotta
if
be
you're
friends
feeling
first.
them though. You ain't just think that, yo, I wanna.
Well, you know what a date
If you're interested in them, then like, yo.
But we're not talking about fucking. We're talking about dating.
Oh well, hey.
Movies.
God damn.
You gotta lead up to getting the pussy.
Yeah,
It's just not
yeah.
that easy.
It's not about fucking. To me, listen, that's the best part to me.
Yeah.
I like to do that, like, because I feel like I like to go from this girl don't even like me, and I like to.
You like to show off, impress her.
No. I like to mentally
In her head, yeah.
get her, right? Get her to the point where she liking me. Like I text her every day.
Oh, so you like to manipulate.
It's not manipulate. I'm just
Secure.
convincing her that she
You're
should
showing
like
her
me.
who you are.
I'm showing her. So I'm a gentleman. I'm doing the right thing. I'm doing all those things that makes a girl say, "Damn, I'm starting to like him." You understand? So
Slowly.
that
Wait, but
process
do
is
you
the best
change
process
though,
to me.
Mano?
Yeah,
Possibly.
Cause then it's real.
That's the fucked up part, though.
Well, no, then it's real.
Possibly. That's possibly. It's possible.
If you're not going to open the door for me 5 years down the line that we're dating, don't open the door for me now. I kind of put that rule from the beginning when I'm dating someone. Like, if you're not going to hold up to who you truly are, don't show me somebody you're not
At the beginning.
at the beginning. There's no point of that.
I just got a quick question.
Yeah.
though.
Question.
Mano.
Oh shit.
look. As a man, do y'all ever like feel any type of way if y'all like hurt a girl's feelings?
Yeah, see, listen.
That's a good
That's a good question. Check this out. Check this out.
No.
When I'm doing those things, when I do those things that I said I'm a gentleman, it's because at that point I really like her.
Right.
In my mind, I'm like this girl, and I've convinced myself that I like her. I want to take her to. We could go out, restaurants. We could do whatever. Have a good time. If in that process, she's a good person, and if something happens, I would feel bad. Like, damn, I ain't mean to do it like that. You know what I mean?
What do I do?
Fuck herself.
No, I'm gonna be like, all right, because if the sex was already there at one point, then we're gonna talk about it and what happened, like, what's going on? Is it someone?
I don't think it's possible. Like, once you're in love with somebody,
That's bullshit.
It's like,
That's bullshit. Niggas can lack. That's how you have to know how to make yourself come,
They
though.
can, but once you're in love with somebody, you have this thing with them, like, well, no matter what the sex
always
is.
We are going to talk about why our sex is whack, and then we're gonna do something about it. I don't know. Am I not? I'm not turning you on. Then I'm gonna figure out how to turn you on. If you're not turning me on, then I'm gonna figure out how you can turn me on.
Right.
Go with someone else then.
Need to step it
Or
up.
maybe it was just a day where he was trying to get his nut off. Maybe it was just one of those days where he needed to get his nut off and he was tired.
Consistently for over 6 months.
But that's why I can't see that happening. Like, I can't see.
I'm lying. For what? That we're gonna talk about it?
You gotta step it up.
You're gonna be like, what the fuck?
No, I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna say, all right, babe, look, I don't know, but the sex has not been good. What's going on? Like, am I not satisfying you? Like, would I cheat?
No, would you go find someone else?
would you
don't get
cheat?
good
No.
dick anymore.
That's cheating.
I am not. I'm really not like a cheating. I'm not a promiscuous girl.
Like a cheater or a cheater?
I'm not a cheater at all. Like, if I'm in a relationship, I'm really devoted in my relationship. That's the type of person I am. I don't like to make my significant other look bad or,
right.
be talked about because just myself, I'm not gonna walk in a room and, I'm with someone and I fucked him yesterday. Like, I'm just not, I don't like that. If I'm in a committed relationship, now if I'm single and I want to do whatever, fuck whoever I want, all right, that's a different story. But if I'm with someone, I'm not promiscuous. Like,
when you get to a committed relationship, is it like a conversation?
And how patient are you?
Wait, what? So much question. Which one?
Is it a conversation? How do you know you're in a committed relationship? Like, Mano, like, when did you know you were in a committed relationship?
When I noticed that she didn't leave. A whole month went by. You still here? God,
this is real now.
Like, this is real. And then the thing is, I wanted to keep her around, right? So I wanted her around. So I wasn't getting tired of her. I liked what I was feeling. I liked it was different. It wasn't just, because after a while, you fuck girls in different cities, you fuck girls, you fuck their friends, you fuck the sisters, you put them all together. And after a while, it's just like, damn, Because listen, I would come home and then feel lonely because all my homeboys got girls. So now I would come home and then I'd be like, damn, who could come over tonight? Who could come over? Damn, yo, what's up? What you doing? I'm in my bed, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't always work. So after a while, you be lonely and shit. You been on the road so long that your lights is off and you pay shit. So nobody home. The house don't feel like a house. It's different when you got somebody that take care of you, take care of the house, and it's a better vibe.
You changed that.
Yeah.
Because you said you were dating a transgender, a female who turned into a male. So, like, do you have sex with like a dildo, like a strap-on? Like, is this something that you have to make her feel more like a...
No, he got a dick.
No,
he got a dick, right?
No. It was a girl turning into a guy.
How does that work?
It was a dyke?
No, a
I'm about to answer
transgender.
all y'all questions in a
A
second.
transgender
Hold on.
meaning the sex was changed.
So it was, okay, yeah, go ahead.
All right, man, so now.
No, wait, answer.
All right, so it was a female who went into a man and the breast was taken off only. So that sex change down there is a whole different process. That's like 5 surgeries across different years. That's like a long ass process, right? So that's something that's not very common for most transgenders, like to do. We use a dildo, and the connection is what made it so intimate
So it's
and
not
so
about
good
just
to
the
me.
sex.
No, it's not at all. Because if it was just the sex, it would be weird. Like at first, like our first time doing it, the first few times it was like I don't even want to have sex with you. I'd rather like a real penis, because it definitely like does feel different. You can tell like
The dildo.
What a dildo.
yeah, you can tell like the difference.
You
Obviously,
feel unfulfilled though.
nah,
not
I
really
don't.
getting
I'm
what you need.
fulfilled, but
She's in love with the person.
I'm
you know?
fulfilled, right, because of the person and our connection. But aside from that, like because of what we're going through now, like if I was to have sex with a regular man, I can't even enjoy it. It has to do with our character building. It has to do with our experiences. It has to do with our traumas that we share, like with everything, good and bad. You understand? So if I don't connect with you, like mentally, I can't really fuck you. At first, like when I was younger, yeah, like I'll fuck and not even want to connect to you. But now, being older, if I don't connect to you like mentally, it's just like it's no arousement like for me. Like I can't even get turned on by that. You understand? So that's like a growth process like for me. But dealing with this person, it was just very different, because the first time giving them head and stuff, that was very different too. Like, so they take hormones. So hormones, it enlarges like your yeah. And so that
It's like a
shit,
little dick.
Her dick look like a dick?
yeah.
I mean, not
well,
you.
it's,
But it's just bigger.
it's smaller, but it's like it's very different because it kind of confused me. Like that was my first time dealing with somebody like this, so it confused me. Like, okay, I know where you came from. That's why I feel like I have a deeper connection to you, because you're a woman, but I want to respect you as a man. You understand? So I have like a great respect for people in general, as long as you like show me respect and like how I have to like respect you. But giving them like oral sex, it was kind of just like different for me, because it's like, okay, I don't know what to do with this. Like, huh?
He wasn't licking, he was sucking.
Nah, I couldn't even lick it like a pussy. Like if
Wait, so it's long like a dick?
if I lick, okay, whoa. So
I
many
need to know.
questions. So like if the trauma didn't come, I'm more aroused. I'm more turned on by the.
Neck choking.
No, that was after like the trauma. So this person knocked my tooth out. That was the.
Oh,
yeah,
and that's
so-
what turned you on?
No,
Like
stop.
No.
That didn't turn me on. What turned me on is like a sick mentality type of thing, because I'm used to abuse. I grew up in abuse for so long, so many like different years, right? So it's like a mental like mind fuck, like, oh, like you're so like you're attached to this kind of energy. That's why it keeps coming to you, right? That's not all I know, but I'm more aware of that type of energy. You know what I mean? And so when I'm getting choked, when I'm getting like it's a certain limit. Like if you throw me around and then like punch me on, all right, I'm gonna have to snuff you.
You want to fight, right?
Right. I like rough sex if I'm really in tune with you, and it's like yes, like let's just
So
like
what do
you know.
like? Tell me, let me hear it.
So it depends. It could be it could be rough sex. It could be passionate. There's moments that I like to just like take care of me, like I'm like your baby, like just make sure like you cradle me, like you know. And then there's moments that it's just like let's be spontaneous. Let's
So
try
wait,
new
you
shit.
feel like a man can't fulfill that?
A man definitely can. Like I'm more turned on by men, but turned
has a
on,
daughter,
turned on,
Yeah, I know.
She's had.
turned on like physically. I could get attracted physically to women mainly. I can't get attracted like to a man's body. Like you could have everything going on. It's okay, cool. With your penis, yes, I could be like, okay, I like that. But with everything else, like body-wise, it's like I want to look at a girl's ass. I want to look at like their facial
I
like
love that.
features. You know what I mean? So it's like it's way different. Like,
So
for
you
me.
gay.
I'm not gay, girl. I'm not gay. I'm like I'm exploring like my sexuality right now, but I like energy. I like whoever I connect with.
For the people at the table who don't know, I was molested when I was younger. So I think that experience in itself kind of like paused everything about my life. And I think for a long time I just went with the flow because I was afraid to really be myself, but I also didn't know who I was based on how I was violated.
You were
So
violated by another man?
yes.
Oh,
And so
you feel like that was like taken from you, your choice?
yeah,
Right.
I felt, especially since it was on his part, he was older, he knew what he was doing, I didn't, and then I was shamed for it automatically by him. So I didn't tell anybody for a very long time because I just didn't know how I was going to be perceived, and I come from a family of blame, so I didn't want to feel blamed for what happened. So for a long time, I was confused about what I liked, who I liked, everything based on that experience. So for the last couple of years, it's just been me getting to really know who I am, just period, because for that time I stayed away from everything. I didn't have sex, I didn't smoke, I didn't drink, I didn't anything because I was just so afraid.
Right.
And I come from 2 alcoholic parents, so I was always afraid of alcohol. And so all of these things I stayed away from as a child, even as like a pre-adult. So now I'm grown and I'm finally like going to therapy, and I'm finally like really like stepping into it, because I'm going to do myself a disservice if I don't do it. But these are all things that I've been taught aren't good. Black people don't go to therapy. Like, you know what I mean? I had to unlearn a lot of the things that I was taught. And it's no fault of my grandmother, because she raised me like she was raised. But when you know better, you do better. And so me just being around different people, and when my circle started to change, I had real friends who were like, yo, you should talk to somebody.
Where do you think you lean toward more, men or women, and how do you think that kind of affects your experience of what you experience?
I think I've always leaned more towards women because that's all I've known. And I think that my background says to do that, right? And there was a moment where I reared off that because I wanted to do whatever I wanted to do, and I wanted to figure it out on my own. And so now I'm at this point where I need to define who Ray is first before I can even start dating anybody. Like, I don't want to cause confusion for anybody. That means more to me than anything. And it's really not me being fair to anybody if I don't really love who Ray is. Because for a long time, I was mad at me. I blame myself for that. For a long time, you shouldn't have been
And
here.
you can't.
You shouldn't have been around here. And somebody had to say that, like, this is not your fault. Like, shit happens. And then I got into the spirit, like, when God deals the cards, you can't tell him, nah, take these cards back. You got to play the hand. You play the hand, you get a new hand.
So
you got to keep playing. Yep.
Next question,
Yep.
kind of like how I said that I kind of get like turned on by the trauma that I've experienced. Do you get turned on by your trauma?
I think at first, I didn't know what turned me on. At first, it did turn me on, but that's what made me upset and made me stay away from it. Because I felt like if I was aggressively raped and now this is what I want, that's wrong. For a long time, I didn't know that because I just didn't know any better. As I got older, I was like, oh, that shit is not cool at all. It's not. But now I gotta relearn, because that's something that I not that I thought it was right, I didn't understand it, but I never challenged it because I had nobody to talk to help me walk me through it. Having people walk me through it was the best thing that ever happened. Me actually saying something kind of changed my life. And so in this moment, I know what love is, and so, but that's why I go those main, I walk the walk to learn me and love me, period. So if the love is coming from somebody else, I get it. If it's not love, I get it automatically because I know how to love me. So it's different now. So I'm not really looking at what somebody's interpretation of what love is. I'm like, nah, that don't feel right, that's not love. Love doesn't hurt at the end of the day.
I just think it's kind of interesting only because like I was like molested by my sister as well from the age of 5 to 10 years old. So that's why I grew up being attracted to women.
Got it.
And so to hear the two dynamics of like you're either attracted to what happened to you or you turn away from it.
Yeah.
You know, like I've never met someone who was open enough as me and then experienced like the same traumas or very similar and then kind of like went away from it. Everyone always leans toward it, you know, like, so I tried to figure out myself, like, how can I go away from that? Because I don't even want to experience that type of like, you know, like, I don't like that I get turned on by like abuse and rape and stuff like that, you know, like, but it's just like something that honestly, like, it turns me on, like, not enough to be like, yeah, like, I, like, you know, this is what I want to focus on, like, while having sex, but it's just something that is like, if I see it and if it happens, it's just like, okay, that's, I'm gonna watch it, unfortunately.
The people that like did stuff, do y'all still see them?
Crazy story is, so the person who did it moved off the block, right? I didn't know anything, and because I had not said anything, I wasn't gonna research and figure it out. My second year of college, I was walking down my block, and I literally bumped into him. And as I saw him, I was walking, and I saw him, and I was just like, I can't believe this is happening right here, right now, to the point where I'm like getting, and he literally started to walk across the street, like to talk to me.
Oh, to come
like coming at me, and I was just
like, I thought to avoid you.
Yeah, so I like put up my hand, and he was just like, nah, I'm just coming over to say what's up. And in that moment, I like froze up, and that's the part when I turned around, I went back home and I called my brother. It was a conversation that we had never had.
Was he a family member?
No.
It's like you are at the fork of the road of your life. Like
Right.
you either choose to say something to
Right.
that person directly or like
Right.
make your own reality
Right.
out of that.
Do you think that you would react the same way if it was somebody who was your family member? And I'm only asking because I was raped by somebody who wasn't my family member, but molested by someone who was. And so I try
So
to.
you were raped and molested.
Yes, and so when
By
I was
females?
no, I was raped by a male who was supposed to be like my best friend, but he was not related to me at all, and that was at the age of 16, so that was way later. So when that happened, I had a similar experience. He lived down the block from me, and I was more so like I froze. Like,
Did you
oh,
tell your
shit.
family?
Yeah,
Like, how
I
did that happen?
Nobody killed. Nobody.
So when I got raped, my older brother, which is why I'm not close to my family at all, and I wish I was because I'm really family oriented, but my older brother kind of like blamed me and was like, oh, but you're a hoe, like you have sex with all of the older guys from the block. And I'm like, and at that time I was a virgin. I'm like, I'm only sexual because little do you know our sister kind of like molested me type of thing, you know? Like I grew up without having a choice of who I liked better. And then also like I didn't want to be horny at the age of 7 years old. Like I'm over there humping pillows and humping like my friends. That's not something that I want to experience, you know what I mean? Like, but that's what I had to grow up in. And so that's why I had asked you that, because when I was raped by this person, I kind of like froze up when I seen him, and I kind of had to deal with it differently. When I was molested by my sister, I don't hold a grudge against her, and it's kind of weird to me because I question myself a lot about that, but she's now like, she's not even gay, she's getting married to a man and everything, and I'm sitting here like confused at the age of 23 years old with a 5-year-old daughter. Like I'm trying to sit here like, okay, I don't like being attracted to women because I grew up I grew up as like, my mom was my youth pastor. So we were Christian, and I grew up in a Christian home, and like, you know, knowing that it's against God. So I feel wrong all the time, even though I don't judge people who like women, who are women, right? But I feel condemned for it. I'm like, all right, like, how can I fix this type of thing? So that's why I asked.
Family would have been different because I come from a family of secrets, right? And I come from a family where they would rather just put it here instead of like dealing with it. So I think if it was a family member, I probably would have taken longer to say something, only because I was born into a secret. So it's almost like, you know things and you say things and they look at you like, what do you, don't say that. Don't say it out loud. Don't say it to people. It should never leave this house. And so it probably would have taken longer for me to say something.
That's not fair, man. Y'all seem like pretty good people. Ray, I know you for years. You a good dude. That's not fair, like, for people to do that. Like, I really, it takes me to a dark place. Like, how could you just not be ultra violent right now? Like,
Cause not everybody crazy like
like your ass.
Now, don't get me
shit
wrong
just-
though.
it's just-
I had moments of being so angry,
It's just-
specifically
it's
like
not
when I was
fair.
raped. Like
yeah, that's not cool, man.
a lot of me, like a lot of my anger came from being raped, not molested. And that's weird. Like sexually, I was sexual because I was like molested, but when I was raped, I really wanted to like find this person. And when I seen him like for the second time, because he was down the block from me, I seen him like the second time, I'm kind of like, I want to react. You know, but I'm young and I can do but so much, and he's a man, so he's physically already stronger than I am.
You didn't
You
go
know,
to
so
someone
it's like
for
I'm
that?
sitting there like, okay, like who can I really call? And then when I would tell people, it's kind of like the question mode, like I hate
Are you
when people
lying or
right? Like how can you be questioned? And I kind of understand it like politically, but at the same time, like to be questioned like that, and I'm like traumatized. Like I went through a whole rape kit and everything. And I'm sitting there like I'm 16 years old, and I was in school. I just wanted to go to school. Like I didn't even want to get raped. You know what I mean? Like so. To have that trauma and then to kind of be blamed for something that was done to you that you didn't even process properly, that's like a mind fuck in its own. Like,
There was a point where I was getting ready and I thought we were gonna be separating. What made me stay, it wasn't just my kids. I felt like at the time I dealt with stuff because I had kids, and I grew up where my parents are married, my grandparents are married, everyone's married, and you don't leave. So it really came to a point where I had to really analyze my whole situation. And I was on the phone with my mother because she knows me best. And she was like, you're an asshole. What are you doing? She was like, you have a whole family, you have a house, you have somebody to support you. Because the reason why I felt like I want to leave were kind of selfish. You know, I started my career late because I had my daughter young. And when my husband, who was my boyfriend at the time, went away, I was young. So I felt like I had a lot of resentment for him because I felt like when he was in jail, it was all put on me to hold him down. But I dated other guys when he was away, and he knows that. I kept it 100 with him once he came out. Not while he was in there, because then he would, kill somebody. But I held him down, not sexually, but in every other way. So then I kind of just analyzed my whole situation. Like, I have a person here who, pretty Jen, ugly Jen, stupid Jen, giggly, nerdy, whatever. He literally accepted me for every type of version of myself that I was. And it's different. Like, I had guys that just want to hook up with me or see me for just physical Jen. They didn't accept me for every other part of me, and it was just something more deeper. It's just, I literally have somebody that will hold me down through thick, thin, good, bad. So is that worth me just dating other guys? Just to have fun for now? Because I feel like I didn't have so much fun. But instead, my mom told me I was an asshole. Like, literally, like, that was the phone call. You're an asshole. Like, what are you doing? And I just said, you know what? I got to be honest with him. And I sat him down, and I told him how I felt. And he's like a street guy, so he don't cry, he don't show emotion, like, And he was just like, I can never imagine my life without you. And it's like, to have somebody really genuinely feel that way, you don't get that with everyone. You really don't. Like, it's not always about sex, it's not always about money. I've been with him when he had nothing, then I've been with him when he was making crazy money. And I was always there no matter what. Like, you can't buy a respectful person that's 100% about you. It is about vibe, it is about authenticity. I don't know, is it worth having fun? Or do I have someone at home that I know at the end of the night, he loves me, So I feel like today, everyone's just so used to, like, if this shit is hard or that one looks better, so I'm going with that. Like, it's so superficial. I don't know, when you have somebody that's good, that person. Like, damn, if I lose that person, like how you decide to settle down. There's a reason why you decide with that one person that you want to keep her around for that month or longer. Like, there's just something different. And I don't know, to me, it's not about looking good on Instagram. You'll never see my husband on my Instagram. If you do, it's very rare, I just feel like that to me is sacred, so I don't need to show it off.
I think I just want somebody that's, like, in tune with me. Like, I want them to be fun, I want them to be loving, caring. I like aggressive. Like, I don't like anybody that's just gonna let me get over on them and just be chill and no, you gotta be like, what, bitch? Where the fuck is you at? Like, what you do?
Yeah, check me. What you talking about? Right? Yeah.
Okay, a little bit. I think Mano's a little too much though.
I'm just saying.
But yeah, and someone that's just caring, like, I don't know. I feel like I'm not expecting the perfect guy, but like I definitely want somebody that's like we're on the same page basically. Like, that's not just too down my throat and like he's just there for me. Like I'm there for him. So
similar to what Kitty was saying. So she would have to be engaging, funny. I would have to be able to laugh with her and be able to build with her. Like we need to be able to talk about various different things other than fucking social media, right? We need to be able to, and I ain't talking about sports, we need to be able to build on social things and, emotional things, right? And be able to laugh and joke. I need her to feel like almost like my homie in a way. Like I needed the closeness that you gotta feel like you could hang out with me anywhere. Right, so that's, to me, it makes sense for me like that.
I think the qualities I seek in a soulmate for me will have to be more someone who is very comfortable with who they are and allow me to be who I am without getting in the way of each other. So like, because people change. Within the years, people change, their views on things and everything. So I feel like a soulmate is just somebody who's willing to hold my hand as I'm willing to hold their hand through anything and everything. And like, I can literally confide in this